Extra, extra, read all about it. Harry Willis defended the color line over 20 times and beat many good fighters. And because of this, there was a call for Jack Dempsey. They've been calling since 1922.
Yeah, but he accepted the challenge.
Now, Willis knew he had to get the white folks involved. He had got him a good lawyer. And guess what they had to do? They had to pay to get a spot. Yeah, they accepted the challenge, but they had to pay to get a spot. Back then, $2,500 is a whole lot of money. Yeah, they deposited that check and gave it to him, guaranteeing the Willis challenge, right? You see it, it's in the newspaper. Yeah, the challenge was accepted by the commission and the check. Yeah, they got that. They said they got possession, right? You see that, right? Shortly after the challenge was accepted, here come the bullshit. Oh, subsequently, the commission seems to have changed its attitude towards Willis, although still holding the challenge and the check for $2,000. Now, they still got the check. They talking about another fight that ain't got even done yet. So what they do? Well, we don't know if the commission, they made the rules. Your commission makes the rules, which we observe. Yeah, but see, Willis talking about, he's like, man, fuck it, y'all ain't got nobody but me. I'm the only motherfucker. You fighting bums, Jack Dempsey. You is fighting bums. You ain't fighting nobody. Huh? What's up? See that shit. Everybody wanna see the top ranked contender, baby. I'm #1 contender. They got signs up everywhere. Yeah. Wasn't no internet. You know what I'm saying? Jack Dempsey and Harry Willis signed to fight each other in 1926 up there in Indiana, the home of the KKK. You better Google it. Huh? Look at him. He's smiling. Yeah. The following day, the check bounced. What, huh? Following day, Dempsey's check bounced, and the fight never takes place. Shh. Yeah, that's the heavyweight champion right there. Huh? Yeah, I say, that's the heavyweight champion in 1926. It's supposed to be, right? Don't duck me in my prime. Come on, Earl. Let's go. You one of the only real tough guys I really see out there, except for like Shakur Stevenson. He wants to smoke just like you, like these old time fighters, man. Where are the real tough guys? Huh? God bless the dead. Harry Willis, man. He like, y'all ain't gonna fight me. I'm just gonna get that money, man, and take it to real tough guy.
Javon Boots Ennis, man, I think you are a real tough guy. I think guys are scared to fight you, brother. You can make history and become one of the tough guys. Your history will live forever. Let's not forget it was written.
Let's not forget the tough guy. You know, it's an old saying, believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. Yeah, I know y'all thought I was gonna talk about Sugar Ray Robinson, man, but I gotta talk about these killers. A nigga named Ray, but he ain't sugar. Ain't nothing sweet about him, you know?
Elmer Ray was a hard-punching heavyweight out of Florida in the 1940s. He reached his peak during a time when champion Joe Louis was away in the Army during World War II and never received a title shot.
Tactics, man. Why you think they didn't get this man a title shot? Huh? Why Rocky Marciano ain't fight this man when he was fighting? Yeah, why Burl ain't never get a chance at Rocky Marciano? And Joe Louis, don't think I forgot about you. You went to the Army, huh? You fighting celebrity matches, huh? You ain't ducking, huh?
Now, Ray's exact date of birth remains a mystery, although it is most often listed as March 3rd, 1911. He grew up in Hastings, Florida, earning a living by fighting, picking cotton, and wrestling alligators.
Swamp nigga.
Real Florida bullshit.
Now, Ray was discovered by Charlie Burley's manager, Tom O'Laughlin, in New Orleans. O'Laughlin entered a bar and complained to the bartender that he couldn't find any good fighters to face Burley. The bartender directed him outside, introducing him to a muscular man who sat on the hood of a Model T eating an apple.
Now I want everybody to let me know if this motherfucker was really having this man's best interest in heart. What you think, especially around these times?
I put him in against Burley, O'Laughlin said, figuring Burley would get a good workout against a tough heavyweight. Only Elmer, he called himself Elmo, almost killed my boy. Elmer's fighting in a pair of flour sack trunks and tennis shoes with no socks.
I say stop right there. Now, if that ain't no Florida shit, I don't know what is. Yeah. Carry on.
O'Loughlin later learned that Ray was already a professional boxer, with a 39-win, 18-loss, and 11-draw record, fighting under the name of Bearcat Ray. He was also a winner of over 21 battle royals in New Orleans, one time knocking out 9 straight opponents with one hand tied behind his back.
You heard what that man just said. This man fighting niggas with one hand. That's how you supposed to fight a bum. Now see, you got these niggas taking all these soft ass
Cherry picks, nigga.
Put one of your motherfucking hands behind your back. Now see, now he gonna fight somebody that can really fight. And guess what? Sometimes you take a L, you underestimate motherfuckers. See, these are real tough guys. Niggas don't give a fuck about taking no L. Guess what? Yeah, you caught me. That's why I learned my lesson. Guess what happened after that? Yeah, nigga win 40 straight fights. Yeah, real tough guys.
O'Loughlin saw nothing technical about Ray. He was crude, awkward, but a hard hitter who kept throwing punches. O'Loughlin put Ray in a 10-rounder against Turkey Thompson, but Ray was knocked out by Thompson's first punch. O'Loughlin figured that was that for the Florida strongman. But Ray was tired of picking cotton for a living.
I'll let you know what type of time it was, man. Them niggas still picking cotton around this bitch.
Now under the guidance of a connected but shrewd manager in O'Loughlin, Ray won 20 straight fights before calling out Joe Louis for an exhibition bout. In military service for the war, Louis refused, not wanting to take any unnecessary risks. "I can't box no exhibition with that Ray," Louis said. "That man can't do anything but fight. Maybe I can fight him later, but a boxing exhibition with him is impossible, because he wouldn't know how to box back. He'd start swinging for keeps. One of us would get hurt." Ray stated that Louis was afraid. Angered by Ray's words, Louis iced him out of a title shot in the coming years.
Yeah, that's what your mouth says, shit, nigga. Your mouth can fry chicken if you let it, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Joe Louis, you was scared of that boy. You hear me?
Ray made a poor showing against Jimmy O'Brien at Madison Square Garden.
Post showing my ass, y'all know what time it is. This what I mean by tactics, man. Yeah, the powers that be make brothers throw fights. It's just simple and plain, man. Ain't no way some of these guys are beating these killers like that, man. Yeah, tactics, man. Yeah, hey, look, we got a lot of money on this fight. I need you to fall, nigga. Yeah, man, like I said in the last video, man, we had to go with the flow. Man, they had just freed the slave. You see this man still picking cotton, man. They still got niggas picking cotton. Even though they paying them chump change, they picking cotton, nigga.
O'Brien held, grabbed, danced, and prayed for a draw until a cut eye forced a stoppage in the 5th round. Fans then taunted both fighters, chanting the word, bum. But Ray began touring the country, knocking out opponents from coast to coast, which earned him the nickname of Violent.
Yeah, he felt some way. He felt some type of way about that shit. He was like, man, let me show these motherfuckers what I can really do.
His manager O'Loughlin called for matches against Lee Savold and Lee Oma, claiming that both were avoiding Ray.
Now, I just want y'all to see who doing all the ducking back then. It showed one of the niggas, because they making the niggas fight each other. Now, you had some niggas, they were trying to protect them. We gonna get into that right here.
Always the promoter, O'Loughlin took one of Ray's sisters from Mississippi, who stood at 6'2" and was very good at working the speed bag. O'Loughlin had her put on a show in the gym, with sports writers reporting how O'Loughlin was getting her to fight Oma and Savold, since they wouldn't fight anybody but girls and bums.
Yeah, fight my sister. Can't whoop a girl, you won't fight me, fight my sister. Humiliation, tactics.
After stopping Joe Louis's sparring partner George Fitch in 5 rounds, Ray received his match against Lee Savold, knocking him out in 2 rounds.
Look at his face! You know goddamn well you gonna knock that boy out in 2.
But Ray was now being advised by Bill Duffy, a bar owner who had also handled Primo Carnera. More than one news reporter smelled a fix.
Yeah, I know that's right. The only way you know how something smells is you done smelled it before, Joe.
Others simply danced around the issue. Lester Bromberg wrote, "Savold was more violent than Elmer was violent. Lee can defend himself like an old master when he wants to, but his guard was lower than a black marketeer's morals."
Yeah, man, I know sometimes they pay these guys to throw fight, but sometimes, man, you know, dealing with the mob, man, but nigga like, no, man, they be like, well, nigga, we'll kill you, nigga. You gonna throw that motherfucking fight one way or the other.
Bromberg further stated that Savold landed a flurry that might have been in the script, but then went back into his non-combatant status. A pair of boxing promoters from Argentina offered $500,000 to Louis if he defended his title against Ray in Buenos Aires.
$500,000 now. Just think about what time it was, man. $500,000 back then is money that you just cannot turn down back then. You're man.
Lewis declined. One writer pointed out that on the Elmer Ray Liesewald poster, there was a picture of Joe Louis with a caption stating that he was afraid of Ray. The writer reported that 4 or 5 persons walked by and laughed out loud as they glanced at the poster. O'Loughlin then inked about for Ray against Jersey Joe Walcott, but according to the manager, the fans weren't buying it and they couldn't give tickets away.
All right, now stop right there. Now, this is where I really got to cook at, man. You see the tactics, man. First of all, deception, disinformation, military camouflage, all this shit, plus the feint and the diversionary attacks. Now, these all the things they are using against these murderer road fighters, man. You know why? I'm gonna tell you why. Because they don't fit in. Hey, you know Too Short say, get in where you fit in, fool. Yeah, you gotta get in where you fit in. Yeah, get in where you fit in, nigga. And if you can't be no clean-cut nigga like Joe Louis, and you can't say yes sir and no sir like Joe Louis, and you can't say nigga America is #1 like Joe Louis, and hey man, slavery wasn't that bad, man. Hey man, then we ain't gonna put you in our establishment. We ain't gonna give you no shot at the title. We can't bribe some of these niggas, and some of these niggas we can't trust if we do give them the money. Yeah man, I can't put you in the ring with Rocky. I don't trust you, nigga. I'm dealing with Joe Louis. Fuck, he's gonna listen to what I say. He's well-mannered. His parents raised him right. So you got slaves out there that just weren't raised right. They just didn't give a fuck, man. Just didn't give a fuck, man. And so now you use the diversionary tactics. Yeah, Joe Louis is our guy. He's fighting against the Germans and the Nazis, huh? That's what y'all say. But man, y'all was talking so crazy about Joe Louis before the war. They was like, this is a monkey, this is a gorilla. But no, since he's fighting for the war against Hitler, yeah, he's our guy now. So anybody that's coming against our guy, we are against him. Because that means if you are trying to hurt our guy and we know you can hurt our guy, man, you are against us. You are a symbol of America right now, even though you is a nigga, Joe Brown Bomber. But a lot of people ain't gonna hear that. A lot of people ain't gonna understand what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, Joe Louis was a Hall of Famer. Yes, he was a Hall of Famer, but he wasn't fucking with them killers. Jersey Joe, Murderers Row, Ezra Charles. Them was some real live killers. Yeah, man. Yeah, Jersey Joe fought, yeah, man, when he was old. Huh? Diversionary tactics. All kind of tactics.
Yeah, man. Why they get a nigga to fight against the Nazis, huh? Wasn't no white heavyweight good enough to fight for the country? Think about it.
Remember they called you a monkey, Joe, huh?
Yeah, now all of a sudden he's our guy, that's our guy.
And in the meantime, between time, you got the guys like Burley and everybody else, you know, doing all kind of, pull all kind of stunts just to get money, man. They gotta feed their family, man. We need money, man. So you can't get mad at niggas throwing fights and pulling stunts. You already know we the most creative people in the world. We gonna find a way. We gonna eat bread and water if we got to. Beans and cornbread for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You hear me? We gonna figure it out. You know, tactics, deception. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. Well, hey. That's what my man Ray had to do. They say if you can trick him, you can beat him. He seen he wasn't fitting in with what was going on with the culture. So he had to do something to make the culture say, hey, that's a good guy. We got to do something to sell this fight, man. So what'd he do? Trickeration.
One day, both he and Ray were standing on the busiest street in New York. A truck passed, and all of a sudden, a big box fell out of the back, breaking open on the street. A 12-foot alligator was inside, now angry and bellowing at passers-by. Women screamed and children shrieked. But Elmo, dressed in a white suit with a red tie, rushed out into the street, saving a young boy from the hungry reptile. The story made the papers. A civic group wanted to nominate Ray for a Carnegie Medal for bravery, but O'Loughlin told him to refuse it. He instructed Elmer to tell the press that, quote, he was proud that he was able to save the lives of his white brothers in New York because, in the eyes of God, We are all
Yeah,
brothers.
that's right. Don't take no medal. Say you did it from the heart. Yeah, make them boys think you done turned soft on them. Yeah, you on their side.
You heard about the nigga that saved the little white baby from the alligator?
They say wrestle him down. Wrestle the alligator down.
He's a hero. They say he's one of them Florida boys.
Tickets for the Walcott bout then went through the roof, and at the time, it drew the biggest gate at Madison Square Garden for 2 black boxers in the headliner. O'Loughlin called the incident the miracle of the alligator and pled innocent to the rumor that he set the whole thing up, including the press photographers who just happened to be there at exactly the right time. Ray defeated Walcott by split decision in front of 18,000 fans at the Garden. Walcott was the 8-5 favorite, but by the 4th round, he was so groggy from Ray's punches that he had to be guided back to his corner by the referee. Ray bobbed and weaved behind his shell-like defense, smashing Walcott with heavy right hands. Ray stated that he would have won in a much more convincing fashion had he not suffered a torn ligament in his left shoulder in the 8th round. Manager O'Loughlin bragged to the press, stating that he had the man who could beat Joe Louis. Under his guidance, Ray had now won 48 straight fights, with 42 by knockout. But sports writer Tom Meaney led the chorus of those who were not impressed. Ray's knockout victims read like a page of boxing's Who's Almost Who, Meaney wrote.
Lies, deception, diversionary tactics. You sure ain't let them fight your guy. You had to fight all the killers.
Ray then faced Ezzard Charles with the winner due a shot at Joe Louis's crown. Charles was a 2-1 favorite, but Ray took a split decision. Charles ran and held, with Ray being the aggressor. He's a good light heavyweight and fast, Ray said, but he couldn't knock my hat off. Ray then threatened to retire if Louis still refused to fight him. Why spend the rest of my life chasing him? Ray asked. But Ray didn't get his title shot. Nearly a year later, he faced Charles in a rematch and was stopped in the 9th round. The bout was held in Chicago Stadium a little over 2 months after Charles had fatally injured Sam Baruti in the same arena. Ray fell in nearly the same spot Baruti did only weeks earlier. Charles was sticking his thumb in Ray's eye, O'Loughlin said. We got a detached retina, and that was it for Ray. Ray retired less than a year later after suffering back-to-back defeats against Kid Riviera and John Holman. Ray suffered a concussion during the Holman bout, getting knocked out in the 9th round.
These are real tough guys, man. Beat me one day, I come back and get you. They ain't gonna let us fight. Let's fight 6, 7, 8 times a year. They gonna give us a shot at the title. They gonna make us kill each other, so nigga, let's kill. They ain't gonna give us a shot at Joe either. That's their guy. Hey man, we gotta kill each other. Bring them. Joe Louis, why ain't you fighting me in my prime?
I ain't gonna fight no more as long as I got that concussion, Ray said. I'm through. I've just fought too many fights too often recently. I got my good health, and I'm gonna keep it. Ray did get a pair of exhibitions against Louis in 1949, and in one of those bouts, Louis severely staggered Ray. O'Loughlin saw that Ray was having trouble with his eyes and co-signed on his retirement.
Lies, deception, diversionary tactics.